Bro, it's like midnight right now. I'm trying to go to sleep. Spirit, this is up here just dropping teasers, man. They're really gonna mess up my sleep schedule this year, aren't they? Yeah, let's take a look at this teaser, which I've already watched. I'm gonna fast forward to sometime in the morning. Yep, here we go. Spirit dropped the first teaser of the 2023 season last night around midnight. Literally, I was trying to go to bed, and of course, they're like, nope, which I'm not surprised. This isn't the first time this has actually happened, so I'm used to it. So the teaser is titled Halfway to Halloween, of course, continuing their Halfway to Halloween week, which is officially ended as of last week, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I went to do coverage videos on the returning of the fucking gargoyle as well as the cotton candy cocoon. I just never got around to it. I was kind of busy at the end of the week, so I apologize for that. I'm not going to make a video on it. I feel like it's more important to make a coverage on this teaser rather than go back and make coverage on the other two teasers. But so now let's get into the Halfway to Halloween teaser. Last year we had also gotten a Halfway to Halloween teaser featuring Betty Sharp. We didn't know who she was at first. All I saw was the knife and the chalkboard and whatnot, which had a lot of writing. It was a lot to decipher. And this teaser has a lot to decipher too. It may just seem like a shovel digging into the ground and revealing a coffin. However, in some of the flashes, we are able to see some brand new animatronics. I know. So the first one I would like to talk about is this kind of goblin slash devil slash, I guess, cherub. A lot of people are referring to the talking cherubs, which I don't think they'll be returning this year. It's possible, but we're definitely going to be seeing some type of devil or cherub, it looks like, if we're going to go along with a cemetery theme. So it's only like this little outline, and actually in the TikTok version you can kind of see a little bit more details of the teeth and the eyes. But it's one of the first things you see upon watching the teaser. It's literally the first flash upon first playing the teaser. So really not much to say there, but it kind of looks like it's either behind a tombstone, so it could be like a Guardian of the Grave type remake, or it could be some zombie baby of some sorts. Could be just a statue, possibly. We'll have to wait and see further to what that could be. So speaking of animatronics, yes, we got actually 2 official names for Spirit Halloween animatronics. This isn't the first time they've actually revealed kind of animatronic names early on. And back in 2021, we had got to see Mr. Howell and Henry Hustle. Trying to remember what else, but yes, Death Stalker and Darling Dolly. These are 2 tombstones we can see. Now, I'm not sure if these are going to be tombstones or animatronics. We'll have to wait and see, because my theory is if they are going to do a graveyard, there's going to be tons of references to past themes, which this makes a lot of sense to why they're doing a graveyard, because it's the 40th year anniversary. And in the graveyard, of course, there's going to be a bunch of tombstones with previous prop names, previous references. And I'll talk to the previous references, especially the theming, later on the video. But going back to the 2 tombstones we see of Deathstalker and Darling Dolly, it's possible that we might see these 2 tombstones in front of the animatronic in the theme, if it's going to be a cemetery, which is most likely going to be, which is awesome. I love cemeteries. I'm really happy to see a cemetery return to Spirit Halloween after over 10 years, which is pretty awesome. So we can see a kind of little, like, we can see a claw of some sorts, a hand on the Deathstalker tombstone, which a lot of people are theorizing to be a werewolf, which is very possible because you can see, of course, the claws and kind of like the burning, the flames coming off the hand, which, yeah, it seems like it could be a werewolf. And I'm pretty sure you can actually hear a werewolf howl at some point when it's actually shown. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it's a very interesting name to call a werewolf Deathstalker, but I'm pretty sure it'll make sense in the end. Moving on to the Darling Dolly tombstone, you can see an eye, and as well as an eye wink, and some looks like lightning or cracks, most likely cracks off their lightning. And we can kind of see some curly hair above everything. It says, "Here lies Darling Dolly, forever changed." And actually going back to the Deathstalker tombstone, it says, "Deathstalker, his hunger." And we can't read the rest, but I'm pretty sure we will eventually. Darling Dolly, forever changed. I first had read it as Tombstone changed, or Tomb changed, which like didn't really make sense at first, but I thought maybe, oh, they might have changed her location for where she was buried and woke her up or something, but I think I'm getting way too into this. But it says, yeah, Darling Dolly forever changed. So, kind of curious to see what forever changed means. We'll have to wait and see when that prop releases. And speaking of dolls, so we can hear a laugh in the video that sounds very familiar to the creepy razzing doll. It was speculated early this year that she'll be returning, and then we kind of had proven that no, she wasn't, because there was a photo of the height photo of how big she is compared to a 6-foot person, which has actually been on there for quite some time. So I believe like early 2020 or sometime during 2020, when she was, I guess, originally supposed to return. It might have been 2018 or 2019. I don't really remember. But yeah, I'll play the video, and I will include a clip of the rising doll laugh that we hear. So yeah, there you go. Looks like she'll be making a return for the 2023 season, which is pretty cool. It's very interesting to see them bring back all these animatronics, and it does make sense because of the whole 40-year anniversary, bring back animatronics from the dead. That's essentially what I think they're getting at this year. And speaking of returning animatronics, we had theorized that 2 animatronics were going to return last year based off of the 2 posters we saw in the theme. Sorry, it was 2021, not 2022. Pumpkin Nester and Crypt Keeper. Now, Pumpkin Nester doesn't look like he'll be returning, but on the other hand, Crypt Keeper is. We can see his face in one of the flashes, so that confirms, hopefully, that Crypt Keeper will be returning this year. That is very, very exciting. Last year we had gotten the Creep from Creep Show at Party City. Now we're going to be getting the return of the Crypt Keeper from many moons ago. The whole tape player Crypt Keeper. I don't think they'll do a tape player again. They will probably have it just, you know, be a regular animatronic, but as Crypt Keeper. So I'm excited to see this one return. As I'm a huge licensed horror fan, of course. I don't really have that much licensed horror props, unfortunately. Definitely want to get some more in the future, but I definitely got all those, you know, they got the Halloween poster up there, I got a Creep Show poster right there, Fright Night, Halloween 3 poster, many more which are not in my room currently. But I'm excited to see Crypt Keeper return, and it's funny that we returned them last year in the Roblox theme ideas, so I'm wondering if they're going to kind of pull off the same aspect or the same kind of way we did with him sitting in the chair, most likely, as he is, you know, reading a book. Makes sense. So next we can see a skull in the flash. So people have also speculated this is a skull pilot because it looks like he's wearing like a pilot helmet. People have kind of theorized this might be Ripping Reaper of Souls. I don't think so. It kind of resembles more of the skull door knocker. So I wonder if this animatronics will be made by YJ. I'm just throwing that out there. It doesn't mean it's confirmed YJ. I'm just throwing it out there. It could be. But yeah, we can see kind of the pilot helmet, and it's, of course, a skull. It would be very cool to see a pilot animatronic. We've not gotten that before. So if they can do a skull pilot, or like if they can do a skeleton pilot animatronic, I think I'd buy that. Not gonna lie. Like you guys might remember in the whole Mike Kroll website fiasco, originally the Reaper's Island was a plane crash. It's possible that this animatronic might have been released in 2020. I don't think so. I'm just throwing these ideas out there. They are most likely wrong, but hey, I'm just, you know, throwing my ideas out there. It could have been unreleased from 2020 and brought back this year. Kind of going along the lines of the whole cemetery bringing back from the dead. Possible. So I wonder if we will see some unreleased animatronic returns. So it's possible, but you never know with Spirit. I don't think they might go that extreme, but it'd be very cool if they might reference some unreleased animatronics that we've never seen before released, possibly releasing them this year. Next, I'm going to talk about the plaques, as you can see, which kind of go along the lines of the Morgue. So I'm wondering if this year's theme is going to be a cemetery, and the back theme is going to be a walk through morgue. That'd be very interesting to see if they can pull off, and I'd be really happy if they did. So kind of where, if they're going to kind of copy the same way they've been doing the themes for the past few years, like the Reaper's Wharf all the way up to the lab this year, kind of like that front section where they had, like, you know, Mr. Dark, Reagan, Betty Sharp, pop-up backs of bones. Kind of along that wall there, they might do like a morgue with the different plaques referencing old animatronics. So in this teaser, you can see Cerberus Buzzsaw and Menacing Molly. But actually in the fucking Gargoyle video, which I was going to talk about, you can also see Buzzsaws as well as Ophelia. So there's probably lots more references to older animatronics using the plaques, and that's a great idea Spirit's doing. So we might see Uncle Charlie, we might see who knows, Twilight Twitcher, Flesh Eating Zombie, the Monica, all these old Spirit Halloween animatronics from years ago. But yeah, so it looks like those would be going like along the lines of a morgue, where they would be kind of showing who was, you know, put in that morgue. So I'll show like all the different plaques that we can make out. There's definitely going to be a lot more, but those are the 5 that we see, or the 4, sorry, that we see. Next is a very interesting one. I'm not sure what this could be, but we see the date 1692 to 1737, a date on the tombstone. I had originally thought this might have been Haunted Shovel Tombstone, and of course I turn around, I'm like, oh yeah, I have him. It says 1856, and just that, it doesn't have the time from when he was alive to buried. So a lot of you guys have pointed out Binks. When I did some research, I noticed it was actually 1693 instead of 1692, so that kind of throws that out of the water, unfortunately. So this is probably just a new animatronic we have not seen yet, unless we've seen it before, and I'm not sure what it could be. It could be an older tombstone, which that's what it looks like we are also getting in the Fogging Gargoyle Tombstone. We can see a Pacific Ace Top, which is a company tombstone seen in 2012. I love those 2012 tombstones. I wish I'd gotten them, but there was kind of these 2. One of them being like a Reaper, another one being a cross, and we can see the Reaper one here. So if they return that, I'm definitely going to be buying that, because, you know, I love me some tombstones. Finally, what this guy has been uncovering. Also, return of the shovel from the graveyard shift. I'm not sure if it's the exact shovel, but I guess we have a returner right there, the shovel, the rusty shovel. Anyway, Spirit Hollow, established 1983. Spirit Hollow. Does that recognize the name? I'm not talking about the bridge from 2017, because that is spelled hollow with H-O-L-L-O-W. I'm talking about Spirit Hollow, H-A-L-L-O-W. The cemetery from 2010 and 2011. So, could this year's theme be Spirit Hollow, the return from 2010 and 2011? We can see on the coffin, or this box he's uncovering from the dirt, Spirit Hollow, established 1983. So, it would be very interesting to see them return the Spirit Hollow theme. Now, if it is a cemetery, this would make a lot of sense for it to be Spirit Hollow. I wouldn't be surprised at the slightest if this is the theme, Spirit Hollow. Or they could be throwing us for a loop, who knows. But it's most likely a cemetery, as we can kind of decipher from all these different teasers and all the different animatronics returning this year. Actually, in the corner of like the top right corner, we can kind of see one of those latex bats that Spirit Halloween has had for a while. They were seen in the Spirit Hollow theme with the rising vampire from the coffin. I'll show a photo here. They had them all hung along the edges there. But yeah, this is getting me excited. We were kind of a little disappointed that Spirit Halloween didn't really do anything yesterday, but then all of a sudden, bam, they just dropped this teaser, and it features a lot more than what we expected. I think still one of my favorite teasers of all time is definitely the 2021 Something Terrifying Is Coming. And I've been saying they should bring back that teaser again, and they kind of did this year. So I'm happy about that. I mean, Spirit Halloween has kind of disappointed us and, you know, surprised us in many ways over the past few years. And this is definitely something that surprised me the most, and I'm really glad Spirit Halloween did this. It's definitely an interesting start to the 2023 season. Seeing all these returners and the animatronic names for this year, and I'm really glad they did it halfway to Halloween week. If they started it last year and doing it this year, they're gonna continue it. So this is kind of like the new sneak peeks in a way. I'm not even really sure they're called sneak peeks anymore, unfortunately. I miss those days, I really do. Going off Facebook and it's literally just the image, like that was 2013 pretty much. Seeing Dead Humor, Convulsing Nurse, Gruesome Granny, that was something. It really was something. What are you guys' opinions on this halfway to Halloween teaser? To be honest with you, I'm very happy with it. So leave in the comments below what you think each of these kind of small flashes of the whole lightning and the whole animatronics and whatnot names, what they could mean in the comments below. I'd love to hear that. What animatronics do you think will be featured in this in the cemetery theme as a reference or possible returner? I'd love to hear your ideas, so leave them in the comments below. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next Spirit Halloween video, possibly within a couple weeks, couple months, who knows. We're getting really close to the Halloween season, so it's slowly approaching, but here we go. We're kicking off the season. Here we go!